Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, getting you ahead of your job search by reviewing your resumes. The resume we have up first is a software engineer Python. So, what we're looking for in a Python engineer is Python, SQL, Docker, Cloud, and its words. So AWS and EC2, and I don't remember what the equivalent for that for GCP and Azure is. RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and then one of these, full stack, AI, DevOps, or all three of these, Fast API, Flask, and Django, and a bonus for Kubernetes, ETL, MongoDB, and Java. Can I find that in 20 seconds? That's the only amount of time I have. That's it. That's all you get. So, let's go. Okay, you did not tell me how you used it. Integrated build strong. You cannot use it like this. I cannot... That is not how you write a sentence, unfortunately. Okay, yeah, I'm getting 0, 0. You've done basically nothing. You've done the equivalent of a worse skill section, and skill sections are already not useful to you. So, what did you write? I've been applying for jobs for the past 3 months, but have not received any interviews. This is not the resume I used during that period. After watching your resume reviews and studying your website and your YouTube, I revised my resume using your guidance. This is not my guidance. This is not it. Let's see. Please let me know how close it is. It is very far. And if I'm close to the finish line and what I should approve. No, my last 3 roles were at the same company. I held 2 positions on the data team. Let's see. Is there anything else that they wrote? I've applied to probably over 200 jobs and I've heard back from nobody. This is their fifth iteration. Second iteration after watching your videos. I've sent another resume, but that one supersedes this one. I have until March 2026, so my current employer is letting me work remotely until then. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, because this is not at all my anything. So this is what I recommend your resume look like. This is how you do it. It is on my website. The link is below. It's free. The problem, though, is not just a formatting issue. It's a content issue. So this is written so poorly that, bro, I don't even know what you've really done. So people confuse what a qualification is, because recruiters are not looking for qualifications. Sorry, we're not looking for keywords. We are looking for qualifications. Now, what I'm about to say is going to sound hypocritical, but these are keywords. The problem is, why can I not use those? Because they are here. And this is the difference. If I was just searching for keywords, I could use Python Fast, PostgreSQL, TypeScript, React.js, and Docker right there. The problem is, I'm hunting for qualifications. And what a qualification is what you did, which is considered a keyword, how you did it, and the reason or result of you doing it. This does not show the latter two. This just says Python Fast API and PostgreSQL, and then you just say built intake and affidavit, REST endpoints, job scheduling, workflow. You cannot write it like that. That is almost 2 separate sentences, and both of them don't have what I need. I need these in this. I need you to tell me how you used Python Fast API and PostgreSQL and the reason and result of you doing it. This is why you're getting massively rejected, is you wrote your resume like this because this is not how it works. This does not look like this. This is different than this. And your problem is you're focusing on irrelevant stuff. You are trying to impress me. I will not be impressed. I say this every video. You need to write what you have done and how you did it, not imply it or try to impress me with it, which is what you did here. Because I want to see built a client and agent portal using TypeScript, React, Next.js, and CSS to blankety blankety blank. Because I don't know why you did this. I don't know the reason you did this. You're just kind of yelling keywords at me, which again, I'm looking for qualifications, and this is not a qualification. This is a bunch of keywords, which I cannot use. The hiring manager would reject you. So I need you to go back to the drawing board, take a break, fix up this resume, and write it in a way that is, well, like this, not like this. Now, I will say we are at this current time. I've recorded this on November 21st. Recruitment shuts down hard in the U.S. at least from basically this week until the second week of January. So even if you do have a perfect resume, it may not matter during that time. That is normal. Do not panic. Almost every single job seeker is going to have difficulties from now until the 2nd of January. That's normal. But on the plus side, in January, after the second week, that is the biggest job boom of the year. So that's all I can do for this resume. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends that need help. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. So can I find what I need for an intern in 20 seconds? Well, what do I need? It's degree, which is a basic knowledge of the tech stack. This also goes for like every other intern. Every intern thinks they need their resume to be like crazy unique. And almost every single non-PhD and master's intern are going to need the same things as above. You just need to replace tech stack with like accounting information or HR or business management. I don't know. I can't think of any other ones right now. So, but what you do need is the ability to work well with others and take direction and criticism. So, can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's go. All right. This is hard to read, but I did find the degree. Can't use anything here. All right. Built a full stack AI financial agent in Python using Docker. Okay. That's fine. Actually, worked cross-functionally by meeting with front-end teams of the reminder system. Okay. Too technical. How do you work well with others? I don't see that. I don't see that you can take criticism well. And this is really hard to read. All right, so that would be a yeet. This person is in the chat right now, by the way, in my Twitch stream, but I am not going to pay attention to them until after because I want to make sure that I give a unbiased review. So I'm very keen on breaking into FANG as it's always been a dream, but obviously any one Fortune 500 would be nice. Yeah, so you focus too much on the tech. What you've done is pretty solid, all right? I want to be very clear. But I need to know how you can work well with others. And this is where almost every single intern messes up on is, again, this is your first corporate job. We need to know that if you get an email chain with 500 people in it that replies all, you're not going to curse them out, which can happen. Almost everybody in corporate has been at one point where there's been an email chain and then they accidentally reply all instead, and then it's pure chaos. They want to make sure you're not going to yell at them. They want to make sure that they can tell you, hey, Bobberino, that your Python script is bad, you need to fix it, and you're not going to look them in the eye and curse them out or walk away or flip the desk in rage. So you do need those two things. I don't need you to say worked well with others or took direction. I do need you to say like met weekly with senior IT whatevers to criticize my code and go over feedback so that I could change it before our next meeting. But right now, this is largely a bunch of percentages and random stuff. Like, you do have enough tech, but it's not just the tech. Because remember, as an intern, you're not going to change the world, right? Like, it's not... It's a job that is primarily based on learning. Your job is to learn. Your job is to take direction. And most people, when they write these, they make the assumption that it kind of seems like that if they are going to boss everybody around, and that's not the case. Your job is to be told what to do, and I don't see that in this resume. So that's really all I can do for this one because it's just missing that. I mean, the tech part is fine. I would prefer less percentages, and you do not need this. And again, your formatting needs to look like this. But a bigger issue is just that, like, I don't see how you can work well with others. And I know that's enraging, but the fact that it's enraging right now is the point. The point is they need to be able to tell you something enraging and you go and not scream or yell or curse at them like some of the comments do. So that's all I can do for this right now. I'm now going to help you off of this video, but for everybody else, next resume. This is a resume of a data scientist. So what we need for a data scientist is degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms, so modeling, analytics, etc. Industry, again, I cannot be in every industry. Some industries are going to have slightly different qualifications. Let's see. Explaining stuff to non-technical folk, that one better be in there. That's like a major one. Influencing stakeholders, cross-functional, cloud, AWS, GCP, Azure. Microsoft Office applications, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheets, AI, Spark, Skibbity, Learn, Pandas, NumPy, Dashboard, data visualizations, and ETL. So, can I find that in 20 seconds? Let's find out. And go. Okay, Python, SQL, data pipelines. Okay. Okay. Presented the pipelines resulting in the project. That's okay. Designed. Don't care. You already mentioned that. Nothing here, nothing. Yeah, so this would get rejected. You were very close on a lot of things. So let me read what you wrote. You said, oh, this is small text for some reason. All right. I am currently searching for roles in the junior data science, research science, or ML engineering. Those are different roles. They all require different resumes. I'm very interested in consulting because the combination of pitching, research, travel works closely. Okay, cool. Despite applying widely, I've had 100 rejections and no interviews over the past year. I will say 100 is not enough. You should be applying to 50 a week, not a day. A day would be crazy. You should be applying to 50 applications a week, especially as a new grad. I'm generally welcome any criticism or recommendations and wouldn't mind a compliment either. Thank you for doing the time for my resumes. Apologies if I uploaded it twice because the upload seemed buggy. Okay, so no problem with that. All right. So the biggest thing with this is I just don't have enough. You focus too heavily on the AI, and this is specifically why you want to make sure your resume is tailored to a job title and not the individual job. So you did have Python, right? Good. You had SQL. Okay, good. You had a little bit of AI. Okay, good. And you had a little bit of data modeling. Okay, that's fine. You had a little bit of CI/CD, which I'm assuming is industry. And this part is good and bad. So the good part is it's very clear as to what it did. Is you presented the project's pipeline to non-technical stakeholders, resulting in the project receiving funding. The problem is, I don't know if that's something I'm looking for. Because while I am looking for stakeholders, I need to see how you explain complex stuff. It does show influence, but it's also, was it just the project's pipeline? Like, I don't care so much that it's CI/CD. I care that you influence them. I would say a better way of saying that would be like, influence stakeholders by explaining X, Y, and Z about our project, which resulted in it receiving funding for the competition. Something like that. And then down here, there's nothing I need, because again, you already mentioned Python up here, and it's Python or R, so it's okay to mention R, but I've already got Python. And then down here, there's nothing. So what I found was some stuff. I did not see how you could explain complex topics to non-technical folk. I did not see anything about cloud. I did not see Microsoft Office Word applications. And I did not see anything about dashboards, data visualizations, and Power BI or ETL. And again, I need about 75% of this to move forward. So is this the worst resume ever? No, it has some stuff I need, but this is part of the reason you're having difficulties is it just doesn't have enough. You have about 40 to 50% of what I need, and I need 75 to move you forward. And the stuff you do have is written very technically. So that's all I can do for this right now, but they are in chat, so I'm going to help them off the YouTube video. But for everybody else, next resume. This is a resume of a business analyst. So what I need for a business analyst is SQL, Tableau, Power BI, Industry, Microsoft Office, Word, Jira, all that good stuff. Requirements gathering and documentation, cross-functional from IC to stakeholders and managers, explaining complex topics to non-technical people. If you notice, that is a theme around something that says analyst. If you have the word analyst in your resume or you're looking for it, you better show me how you can explain complex topics to non-technical people. I want to see that you've met multiple deadlines concurrently and that you have used Agile, Scrum, or Waterfall. Now, I will say this is a Canadian person, and to be clear, while my advice does work outside the US, it's not always a one-to-one translation, and sometimes the qualifications can be different. So with that warning aside, let's see what I can find in 20 seconds, and go. This is a nightmare. Analyze sales data. Okay, using some macros to KPI-focused dashboards. Okay, manage with using Agile, Scrum methodologies in Jira. It's not bad. This formatting is really hurting it. Top performance SAP. I don't think that's needed. And that's all that I got. This is why your formatting matters. This actually wasn't the worst ever on bullet points, but that was as far as I could read because it was so incredibly dense. So let me read what they said. Thank you for taking the time to review my resume. I haven't started applying properly with this resume yet, so I don't have an accurate ratio. This is a resume I've made after watching your videos. I know it's still missing some, but I figured out and feel stuck. I'm a fresh BA economics grad, considering doing a master's of management and a business analytics cert. Since the job market is bad, do you think I should either applying right now or get this cert first? I will say that you should start applying because the hardest job search of your life is going to be the one right after college. It doesn't matter that you have the cert or not. The hardest job search is right out of college. So I'd rather you get this over with now and maybe get a little bit of experience while you get the cert, because it is always going to be your hardest job search. So the big problem with this resume is honestly mostly formatting and content, but mostly formatting. So this is a giant wall of text that is going to cause your eyes to bleed. This is easy to read. I need you to write it like this, okay? But then we go down to here, because again, these are way different. These are very different. And then we go down to here, and you also try to fit it all in the one page. I don't care about that. You can go past one page. Is analyze sales data, okay, using SQL, good, and Excel macros, good, through KPI focus. See, I don't know if KPI is needed. Everybody keeps putting KPIs, and sometimes it's needed. I don't think it is. Through focused Power BI dashboards. I don't want to see that part is okay, but then to enable non-technical stakeholders monitor performance, this is the part that I don't care about, right? Remember, I need you to explain complex topics to non-technical people. I don't need you to build a thing that solves that. I need you to verbally explain it. So what I would have preferred you said is analyze sales data using SQL and Excel macros. Good. Again, that is good. Through a Power BI dashboard that I explained to our non-technical stakeholders how to use to monitor performance, which let them X or Y, right? Like, that's already lengthy. The problem is I don't care about churn and growth or whatever. Managed for, this is a good use of numbers. This actually is a correct use of numbers. You tell me how many projects, so good on you. This is good. 4 cross-functional projects with managers using Agile Scrum methodologies and Jira to track progress, ensure successful completion across, I don't know if I need 8 initiatives, but this is actually a relatively good sentence. This is good. Practically no notes. I don't know if you need to say 8 initiatives because you already did 4 cross-functional projects. You may just say to ensure multiple initiatives met all deadlines. In fact, yeah, that was, so I would say to track progress and ensure multiple initiatives met all deadlines. Then identify top performance services using SAP, which I think is something we need. Analytics, and again, I didn't say SAP Analytics, I said SAP. They may not know that SAP Analytics is the same as SAP. It presented key findings by creative Microsoft partners for stakeholders to refine strategy. I need more. Right? Like, I needed you to explain it. Again, you're still sort of trying to impress me. Again, you're focused on this churn and revenue. It's still too technical. So, is this the worst resume in existence? No, I actually think there's some good parts to it. Mainly, this bullet point is very good. It's mostly a formatting, and you just need to prune this and, again, make it less technical. You don't need to imply that you've done it. You need to show me that you've already done it. And that is what I'm having an issue with here. So fix the formatting, change that a little bit, and then I'm going to help you out on the stream real quick. But for everybody else, next resume. This is a resume of, well, they said data science or machine learning engineer, but those are different jobs. So I picked machine learning engineer. Could this be perfect for data science? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for only machine learning engineer. And the resume that can do both is the resume that's probably not going to get you either as an interview. So what we're looking for in a machine learning engineer in the US, I do realize this person is in the United Kingdom. And while my advice has gotten people jobs in the EU and the UK, I will let you all know that sometimes these lists are slightly off. They're like mostly correct. Instead of like 100% correct, they're like 90% correct. And some of the advice doesn't always translate. Most of it does. But with that warning out of the way, what we're looking for in a US-based machine learning engineer is degree machine learning, ML models, LLM, NLP, generative AI, Python, R, C++, Cloud, SQL, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Skibidi-learn, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, RAG, and probably LangGraph as well. Customer-facing stakeholders, clients, be the subject matter expert, and a bonus for all that other good stuff. So, can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's find out. Whoop, nope, too early. All right, and go. Oh, I hate this. This is so hard to see. Can't use anything here. Okay, collect and propose robotic sensors, Python. Okay. Nothing. I don't see anything about machine learning. Generative AI and LLM is good. AWS is probably good. I don't know. Do I actually need cloud for this? I have to double check. Python for ML modeling. There we go. The first time I've seen machine learning here. And rejected. Yeah, this is not a good resume. So, maybe it's great for data science, right? But I'm not looking for a data scientist. I'm looking for machine learning. And if you're using the same resume for both, you're going to have a bad time. So, what did this person say? I don't know whether it's a CV issue, which technically CV is curriculum vitae, which is actually different than a resume, but I've literally never seen anybody use it differently, at least in the US. So whenever anybody says CV, they usually just mean resume. I don't actually know how to write a CV. That is a specifically scholastic thing to do, and I think there's another version of it too. But everybody says CV, they mean resume. So how do I write? I don't know whether it's a resume issue or a visa issue. I'm an international student studying in the UK, and the answer is both. Both things are true. I do not know UK's, visa status laws. I assume it's difficult, but your resume is also terrible. So what I'm going to need you to do is, burn this and start again. I need you to make it look like this so that it's actually readable. And then I need you to put in things that I actually care about. Like, why do I care about deep learning? And now everybody's right now going to be screaming at me that deep learning is AI-based. Well, yeah, cool, but they may not know that. And it could be possible that for this particular machine learning, they don't actually value deep learning as much as they do some of the other techniques. Maybe instead of like other LLM stuff, they want agentic. Maybe they want MOS, which is multi-agent systems. Maybe they want visual things. I don't know. AI is vast. You have to be both broader by saying machine learning and more specific if you want to go for a niche. And deep learning is neither of those. So this almost has nothing I need except Python. This has a little bit more. No, this has nothing. It's this one because this says generative AI and has LLMs in Python. Now, I will say, I feel like most people don't value chatbots as much, but some do. But this at least has a sentence. So this is a good sentence. This is your only good sentence in this entire resume that I've found. That's it. This is it. And this cannot help. No, this isn't good. So I have to get down to here before I find something that's actually related to what I'm looking for, and that's the problem. And then if I go for the rest of it, I don't see anything else. How do you explain complex topics? How do you talk to stakeholders? How do you use TensorFlow, PyTorch, Skibidi-learn, Pandas, NumPy, LangChain, or RAG? How did you use SQL? What about cloud? What about models? And here's the sad part, this part will enrage people, is if you're applying for a machine learning role, you need to put machine learning, parentheses, ML. And it needs to be in the first bullet point. So you have basically shown you do not meet any of the qualifications because of how you built this resume. Now, is your visa status affecting your chances? While I'm not a UK recruiter, I'm going to make an assumption that yes, it probably does not. There are less jobs that would be willing to sponsor you or the UK equivalent of that. But what you can fix is your resume, and this resume is garbage. So I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board, make these things, or at least find 15 other machine learning jobs, not data science, machine learning, in the UK, and then build a resume based on those 15 jobs with good qualifications, and then use that to mass apply. So that's all I can do for this resume. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Send it to a friend that needs help or a family member that lost their job due to a layoff. If you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter because I am here to get you ahead of your job search.